This is the top 10 guns of COD Mobile's Season 10. For the first time ever in a top 10, we're gonna have some wild cards. Guns that you need to use may seem kind of odd choices, but are awesome or unique. Two of which being the CX-9, which was recently released last season. It received a bunch of buffs and is now actually a viable option in this season. Along with the DR Edge, this has been quietly climbing the ranks anyway and now just received another buff. But a wild card I've been trying to get more people to test out for the last half year to a full year is the R9 shotgun. That weapon's almost as good as Arena Breakout, which I believe to be the best mobile game released this year. With their Season 2 update just dropping, we got a plethora of new guns to choose from, along with a load of pre-existing ones that are super fun. Not only that, the weapon customization with the gunsmith goes more in depth than any other game ever. Also, your boy got #1 in the leaderboards, as promised, because I absolutely love playing it. So you should download it using the link at the top of the description down below. And if you want to check out all the videos, shorts, and live streams that I do, there will be a secondary link right below that as well. Go check out that channel. The game is amazing. A semi-automatic sniper you should be using, however, is the XPR. Whether you want to stick a scope or just use the default, this thing aims down the sight incredibly fast for respawns. But because the meta is slightly faster than what it was in previous months, you may find yourself getting cooked at extremely close range by some of the SMGs on this list. One of which is the honorable mention Ferg. Superb slayer in short combat. But number 9 goes to the Creed. The nerf it received back in the day was actually not that significant. The only problem is everyone kind of realized that if you don't have the mythic for this gun, it's probably not the one for you because you have to sacrifice an attachment to get a red dot, as unfortunately the default iron sights for this thing suck. But if you do have a special skin that does have good ones, it can be a killer. Here are 3 honorable mentions of weapons that I think are fairly decent, but really can't be put in the top 10. Razorback, Holger, and Peacekeeper. All 3 good for their own separate ways. The most similar of both being the Peacekeeper and Razor that kind of do almost identical things, but slightly different ways. However, number 8 is the M13. It got buffed a couple of seasons ago, and well, I've got a soft spot for it in my heart, as that skin right there is beautiful. Not only that, but it has some of the best normal iron sights in the entire game. Super easy to use, definitely noob friendly, but if you're going for nukes, it has a big fatty 40 round mag double stack. It'll make sure you won't run out of bullets when shooting at multiple players. More honorable mentions have to go to the Locust, DLQ, and SVD. Locust and DLQ are pretty much the same weapon, but the Locust aims in slightly faster, whereas the SVD is a highly camper focused semi-automatic sniper. It was nerfed also, but it's still incredibly viable in this season. Not too dissimilar to the LK24, which got nerfed. If I were to compare this to any gun, it would be the M4. Think of it like a super tryhard version of that weapon, because it's almost average in every single department, but because it's so far above average in all sectors, it works well. Not as well, however, as the Kilo at our number 6 spot. This thing has been in and amongst the top 10 since it was released, and I don't really see it going anywhere anytime soon, especially with the superb default iron sight, and then if you have a skin for it, they're even better. The great damage, low recoil, basically everything you want in an assault rifle is in that package. But if you're feeling SMGs, the Cordite might be an honorable mention for you. Or our number 5 spot being the Switchblade, which in my opinion is the best close range, fast-paced shooting weapon in the game. Used by all the pros in every level of competition, this is what you want to use if you're an extreme rusher playing for the win. I wouldn't say if you're going for nukes, however, as it can be quite tricky to get kills at very far ranges, which is actually the opposite to the UL in number 4. This is a much more versatile weapon, and to be honest, I think you're going to see a lot more of it in ranked this season. And if not, you'll see a lot more of it in pro play, because I've actually been talking to a lot of the pros behind the scenes, and they've told me this is a dark horse. I agree with them. But you know something I didn't agree with last season was putting the Grau anywhere on the list. However, now it's right up there with the Kilo. And if you haven't used it, it's our number 3 spot this month. So you've got to check it out. It's extremely powerful. Don't even get me started on the iron sights that you can use to kill your enemies with. So if you don't like the Kilo and you still want to use an assault rifle, this is the one to do it with. I wanted to put it right up here because the top 3 are the ones that people listen to most. And I'm excited to see how many of of you guys actually like this. So if you do, subscribe and comment down below what you think about it. Number 2 is actually a draw between 3 SMGs that all perform very similarly. The most powerful of the bunch is the PDW, which recently got buffed, and at this current point, a lot of people are saying that it's actually better than the CBR. Obviously, the third one has to be the PP19 because it hasn't really been touched much since I absolutely shredded world finalists a couple of seasons ago. I nuked another world finalist! I nuked another world finalist! And in my opinion, it is a stunner of a weapon. Our last honorable mention goes to the SKS. I don't need to talk about this anymore, other than the fact that it's been completely banned from every event when it comes to pro play, and you've heard me talk about it for the last 2 or 3 years at this point. It's overpowered. However, lastly, the number 1 spot, if you've made it this far, you have to subscribe. It's the HVK, specifically with the large caliber magazine. It can 2-tap to the head, it's fully automatic, and it was just banned in the Call of Duty Mobile Championships. Subscribe.